masquerade is getting older.
Do you consider directing one of these videos eventually? It seems like a natural thing to do.
I don't know if I could do that because that's really wearing two hats. And if I was behind the camera, I'd want to stay behind the camera. Well, exactly. I don't want to get into an argument with me. No, I do really want to direct something, but I think I'd have to concentrate on too many things because it's so different.
Do you ever think, like, in 10 years I'll be doing something completely different, or I'll be directing films?
Oh, sure. I mean, I change a lot. And I mean, I never knew when I was a dancer and I was completely focused on dancing that I was going to be a singer, and I never knew when I was writing music that I was going to end up being an actress, you know, and one thing just leads to the next.
You've always said that I'm not the greatest singer, I'm not the greatest dancer, and yet you have this tremendous effect on people.
Well, I mean, technically, I mean, the thing is, what is the greatest singer and what is the greatest? I mean, I don't think that, you know, being good has anything to do with your octave range or, you know, it's not about technical, it's about what's in here. It's about being true to yourself and touching people, you know? It's about emotion, being passionate about what you do. I mean, some of the greatest artists in the world don't necessarily, as far as singing goes, don't have like what people would call technically perfect voices, but they come from somewhere deep down inside and they touch people.
Right. And the technically perfect people can be terribly boring.
Terribly, if that's all one concentrates on. Yeah. You know, if you don't sing from your heart and you don't mean it, then how can it mean anything to anyone else?
What is this Janet Jackson thing? She came in on the vibe and...
Dissed me?
What is that all about?
You know what, I don't know. I read it myself and I'm like, okay, that sounds ominous. What did I do? I've never met the woman. I don't know anyone she knows. I'm mystified. Maybe she'll tell me one day.
That's really bizarre.
Yes, well, rather transparent, wouldn't you say?
I keep on doing what you're doing, baby. I keep moving, keep moving.
Having wrapped up shooting here in Spain, Madonna and company gathered together all their little canisters of film and flew back to a stateside editing room to assemble the finished clip.
They shot about 60,000 feet of film in Spain, which is close to 10 hours. So it's basically logging 10 hours of film. It's an all beautiful film. I mean, it's hard to, usually you have to really search to find moments. There was 10 hours of incredible material, but it's whittling 10 hours into 4.5 minutes, and that's been the real challenge.
The reason we shot so much, when we were shooting the bullfight, we had to shoot with 5 cameras, because I can't direct the bullfight. And it's going to happen when it happens. And we wanted to slow the passes down at a really slow speed. So you have to shoot at 60 frames. And a lot of the footage is just useless, but you don't know when it's going to come. He's walking out slowly towards the bull, slowly towards the bull. You have to keep running just to get that one pass, just to try to slow it. And you have to have different cameras and different angles because you can't do it again. It's funny because the most important thing is the ending, because it is a story. And you can go back and rechange the rhythm and the flow of certain scenes, but the end is the hardest thing to get because just by changing no one's talking, so you know you have to rely on everyone's body language. By changing the way that someone turns at the end, or you know the way that the matador puts his head down, all of a sudden changes the meaning of the story.
You took my life for granted. Why? Oh, why? This show is over. Say goodbye.
When this is all shot and everything, will you show up in the editing room and...
Oh, yes.
Will they be happy to see you coming?
Why not?
Oh.
I always have something good to contribute.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that everybody all the directors I've worked with, I think that they welcome my input, and there are always people that I know I can collaborate with. I mean, we have the same vision. I've never gotten into an editing room and gotten to some screening match.
You're so in control of, I don't want to say you're a control freak, but you're so in control of what you do. It's interesting that you give your stuff over to like Junior Vasquez to remix it. I mean,
Right.
This must be a great sense of trust you have in this guy.
I have a huge sense of, well, I've known Junior for years, and I've worked with him in the studio. He's done a lot of remixes for me, and as a person, he's a good person. I adore him, and I feel safe.
That's her by herself. That's the double. Together, it's just bigger than all the harmonies. This is Dallas's original loop. Dallas Austin, who wrote this with Madonna. This is his original loop. And we just added our own loops and our own kick, drum, and snare, actually based around his loop. And hats and stuff. We didn't use any of his drums, just his loop. And then the original bass. And then, of course, her.
It's amazing. You just send the stuff over and say, do what you will.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that with everybody. It's like, it's a part of me. It's hard for me to let it go to someone I don't know, I don't trust, I don't know who they are, but I certainly do with him.
Do you have any projects coming up in the year ahead that might surprise us in any way? Any news on the fabled Madonna children? They be coming up soon?
Yes, I'm 9 months pregnant.
Hiding it well.
No, I mean, this is another thing. I did an interview where someone asked me if I wanted to have children, and suddenly, and it's like the headline in every newspaper.
Yeah. She mourns at home.
She's mourning for her child. She's out looking for a man to sire her child. She's found the man. She's pregnant. She's having the baby tomorrow. Whatever. I mean,
How much of that is true?
none of it.
Oh,
I mean, I want to have children.
Yeah.
That's, and I will. And could everybody just get off my back about it?
Would there ever be like a Madonna book, autobiography or anything?
If there is going to be that, it's not going to be for a really long time. Yeah, I'm not ready to write my biography yet. Not yet. I'm not in my wheelchair yet, in spite of what this looks like. How old am I?
No, how old is this place?
What are you going to act your age? My nose is running.
Do you want to take time out and maybe dab
Dab
at
it? No, I'm just going to use my...
It's an old code.
Are you checking your gum now? Oh, sorry, gum. And this is, are your hands clean? Because I'm going to have it back later.
You're in big trouble. Yeah, you. Just kidding.
Kurt, get a real job, okay?